Well, welcome everyone to the call. This is, again, Michelle Schaefer, Senior Consultant. And thank you so much for joining us this Wednesday night for our EC Riders team call. And, of course, it's open to all teams, so we welcome everyone. And I'm not going to take up a lot of time. I just want to go ahead and introduce our host. If you're not familiar with this gentleman, he's an executive consultant in our business. He's been in with Ambit for about 6 years. He is what we call financially free, which means at the end of every month, a check comes in that takes care of all his bills, whether he works or not, which is something I very much look forward to myself. He is a business owner. He owns several Vicky's barbecue restaurants. He owns a music box company. He's a musician, a classical pianist. He has earned his way onto a 5-star trip, and if you're not familiar with that, basically it means that out of the 350,000 or so consultants in our business, he was one of 20 that were selected to go on this trip. And he had his own business that years ago he sold for, I think it was a graphic design business that he sold for a few $1 million. So he is very well versed in the business arena. And he has also brought us the Purge Call on Sunday nights, which we know is really kind of exploded and really helped a lot of people out. Improving and moving their businesses forward. So without further ado, my very good friend and mentor, Mr. Richard Laidler.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Fantastic. Hello there, everybody. How are you all doing? It's 9 o'clock on Wednesday evening. I'm still at the end of a little bit of a bad cold, so I do cough and splutter a little bit. I do apologize for that. I do have a nice cup of tea on the way. I don't have it ready right now, but when it arrives, I promise you I'll give you the obligatory slurp of tea just to let you know that us Brits do actually drink tea pretty much most of the day because it makes everything okay again. Anyway, just again, thank you very much for getting on the call. I know there's a lot of new names, a lot of new people on the call, and a lot of familiar people on the call. But just as a general reminder, the purpose of the team calls that we do, we want to try and make them, we don't want them necessarily to be motivational calls. We don't want to kind of just try and build you up and make you feel good about your business, make you feel good about yourself. There is certainly a place for those calls, but this isn't one of them. We hopefully, with the information that we give you, will give you the success, and the success you'll have will make you feel motivated and wanting to press ahead and move on with the call. So the purpose of this call, as I say, is to be really kind of functional. I like to get down to the nitty-gritty. And very often we'll have a guest on this call just to kind of give some different perspectives on the business. But tonight you've got me. What can I tell you? That's it. You're kind of lumbered, but it's okay. I'll do my best not to be boring, and I'll tell you, I'll kind of keep things chirpy. But the reason why I wanted to be on the call tonight was to kind of assist with the Sunday Purge call. The Sunday Purge call, as Michelle was saying, has become extremely successful. There's a lot of people who are finding a lot of success with the simplicity of just putting structure into their business, because at the end of the day, over and above pretty much any other training, if you have structure, because what we do is so simple, if you just put structure in place, you will have success. It's not like, with Javier on the call, he's flying an airplane, we hope that he is training and becoming expert at what he does because he's got the responsibility of a couple of hundred passengers behind him. All we do in our business is we help a couple of people or get ourselves qualified with a couple of customers and help 2 or 3 or 4 people get in our business and become business partners with us. That's Javier saying, yep, you better be practicing, my friend. You better be really good at flying that plane. But yeah, so compared to obviously what people do in a normal job, what we do is really, really simple. And so truly the secret to success is the simplicity of the structure. The other stuff that you learn, things like, being a good inviter, I help you on that call anyway, but you just get better at it. The more you do it, you get better at it, the more confident you get. Being in touch with your why and this type of thing, being a good presenter, being a good coach for your downline, that's all very learnable stuff, but it's all super, super simple. that being said, so many people, prior to the purge call, were quitting because they just didn't have structure in their business. They weren't giving their business the same respect as they give to their job, and that's what you need to do. You need to understand that if you want to, reach the financial freedom, if you want to have your ambit business basically replace your income, then you have to treat it like a part-time job. Sorry, but not sorry. It is what it is. Nothing comes for free. And once you're financially free, you can kind of relax if you want to. I'm financially free and I'm not relaxing. I want to get myself to maybe a $30,000 a month residual income or more. Hey, who knows? But it's very much in sight to be able to do that just by helping a few people get started in the business and getting them qualified with a couple of customers. So, but the point is, so my point is, even though I'm financially free, I have structure in my business. On Sundays, I prepare my week. I have 2 calls a day, and I have the accountability call with myself. But I do it just like I'm asking everybody else to do it, and it works. It absolutely works. So now the reason why I'm bringing that up is there's a lot of things that I don't have time to cover on the call. And I know some people come on the call and they're not sure. I'm kind of being a little assumptive as they know what we're doing. Like, for example, at the beginning of the call, I say, okay, get yourself a written list and make sure it's scored using the E.R.I.C.A system, and then pull down the top 10 names from that list. Okay, that's a big assumption that you guys know what I'm talking about. So my first point would be, if you're in the DFW area and you want to know everything about building the written list, all the way from actually building your written list, actually how to do the E.R.I.C.A scoring properly, and how to pull down the top 10 names from that list. That's part of the training that I'm doing on October the 1st at the Ambit Power Workshop. Basically, if you're into the Sunday Purge call, you need to be at that training, and you need to get your team to that training. And the way to get yourself registered there is to go to www.ambitlive.com. So AMBITLIVE.com, and you can get yourself registered there. But there you'll get all of the training you need, everything that we need for the Sunday Purge call. As I say, I don't have time to do all the training during the Sunday Purge call. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit on a couple of subjects that we don't usually hit on that call, so that it will make you a little bit more enlightened, a little bit more expert at what you do. Again, what we do is really, really simple, but there's no harm in getting better at it. So as far as creating your written list is concerned, that's a pretty simple thing. It's very much a situation where you sit down, ideally with your accountability partner, and you just have a brain dump and get as many names as you can down onto the I'm so sorry, that cup of tea is taking a little while. I need to get that to kind of moisten the vocal cords. But yeah, just get yourself down, 30, 40 names, and then work with the memory jogger that's in the back office on Ambit U. And that will basically prompt you and help you get to a written list of around 200 names. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there who've got more than 500 names, and I know some people who've got 10 people on their list. You need to get it up to 3 figures. If you've only got 10 people on your list and you're working the purge call, and I tell you to pull your top 10 names down, that's all your names. And once you've done that and you've done your list, the purpose of the purge call is, after the first Sunday, we've gone through the invites. By the time you've got your second Sunday done, we're purging that list, and we need to have another 10 names down there. So you need to create a written list. And I know it sounds boring. I know it's like, oh, God, really, do I have to do this? Let's just be real here. Your Ambit business is your way out of your job. It's your way to residual income. It's your way to an extra $500 a month, or your way to $50,000 a month. Whether you are, an 18-year-old or a 70-year-old, whether you have the experience coming out the wazoo, or you've just got started, or you've never worked before, male, female, tall, short, black, white, skinny, whatever, it is non-discriminatory as to who can make a lot of money in this business. And if you are pulling down 10 names, doing 2 invites a day, on 1 accountability call, as per the purge call, you will get there. The longer you do it, the more you'll make. It's not the better you are at it, the more you'll make. It's just basically the longer you do it, the more you'll make. If you're lucky and you find yourself a Michelle, you find yourself a Dana, or you find yourself an Anna Petrovich or a Josh Workman, if you find people that good and you're lucky and they start building your business, and that's great. But you can't rely on that. You just got to basically get your people into the business, get your 3, teach them to do the same thing, and you'll build your business. So what I wanted to do was kind of talk about getting those people on your written list. That's your inventory. You've got to have those people on that list. As I say, I know it's boring, but let's get real. That's what you got to do. Pull down those names and constantly be adding to it. Then once you have your names there, then we're going to do the E.R.I.C.A scoring. And I'm just going to cover that real quick because, again, I don't get much chance to talk about that on the call. But I know that a couple of my victims in the past have kind of made a little bit of a mistake here. What they've done is they've pulled their 10 names down and then scored them using the E.R.I.C.A system. That's the wrong way to do it. The purpose of the E.R.I.C.A scoring system is to put your whole written list in order. Okay, so you know, you're going to get the names down. Everyone's going to get a call, but what it's doing is it's bringing the cream to the top of the milk. Do you see what I mean? It's so that's what we do. Is you have 200 names, go through them real quick and just score them, and then the top 10 names will float to the list. And the way you score them is using the E.R.I.C.A system. The E.R.I.C.A system is E for entrepreneurial, R for resources, I for influence, C for city, and A for attitude. Again, that's E for entrepreneurial, R for resources, I for influence, C for C for city, and A for accountability. And my cup of tea is right here. Hold on one second. Perfect cup of tea. Makes everything better. Not one more cough will come. Okay, so and the way to score it is, let's say I'm prospecting Javier. A lot of you know who Javier is, and I'm going to be okay. Well, E. Now, do I consider him entrepreneurial? Sometimes, as a rough guide, is to if you're well, I'm not sure. Is he a 1 or is he a 3? Compare them to yourself. You know, if you look at yourself and say, well, is he more or less entrepreneurial than me? Now, I might not do that one with the entrepreneurial one because I'm a business owner, and that might be unfair because he's probably not going to be more entrepreneurial than me. And so, what I would do with Javier, he's been a captain of an aircraft for the longest time. I'm not sure if he's had a business before. He's become a lot more entrepreneurial as I've known him. So right now, I would probably give him a 3. He's got a great ambit business. He's also got a new restaurant he's just opened up called Social Pie, which you all need to check out at some point. He's posting lots of information on his Facebook page. Hopefully I got the name right there, Javier. If I haven't, please text me through and let me know. But I would give him a 3 because he's entrepreneurial. Now, does he have the resources? Does he have the time and the money? And okay, well, I know he can definitely afford to get started, but he's a captain. Does he have the time? Okay, yeah, it's called Social Pie, and it's pizza with a purpose, he says. So everyone will need to try that. Nothing worse than just a completely right out there plug for my friend's restaurant. Social Pie, make sure you guys all give it a go. But is he resource? So I might give him a 2. No disrespect to Javier, but he might not have the time, as much time. So I'm going to give him a 2 on that. Influence, yeah, he's got a bunch of friends. He's a 3. City, yeah, he's in Dallas, so I'd give him a 3. If he was in Houston and I'm in Dallas, I might give him a 2 because it's a little harder to communicate with him. If he's out of state, I might give him a 1. If he's out of the country, I'll give him a 0 because he's no good to us. So entrepreneurial, I would give him a 3. Resourceful, I would give him a 2 because I'm not sure about how much time he has. Influence, yeah, he knows a bunch of people. People really like him. I'd give him a 3. City, I would give him a 3 because we're both in Dallas. Again, if he's in Texas but out of state, or he's in Austin, maybe a deregulated area or a not deregulated area, I give him a 2 or a 1. It's not a hard and fast science. It's just to give us a guide. And then attitude, I give him a 0. He's got the worst attitude on the planet. I'm so kidding. He has the best attitude on the planet. Absolutely, I would give him a 3. So he would score pretty highly. I've got a 3, a 2, a 3, 3, and a 3. So he would be a score of 14, and he'd be nice and high on my list. Now, let's say I've got Joe Schmo, who's, a guy who's, I don't know, he doesn't like his job. He's kind of just a quieter, a little bit slightly more morose type of a chap. So entrepreneurial, nah, probably not. He's kind of a bit of a plodder. He's a 1. Resources, yeah, he can afford the business, and he's got time. I'd give him a 2. Influence, he's got a small circle of friends, but he never goes outside it. Maybe a 1 or a 2. City, he's in Dallas. Okay, great. So I'll give him a 3. Attitude, he's not got a good attitude. I give him a 1. So he's going to get a call at some point, but he's going to be down on my list. And the likelihood is that I may not have even got down that far on my list because I brought all the cream to the top of the list because of this scoring. And so all of this cream comes to the top of the list. And remember, all I really need, according to the business presentation, is to find 3 good people and get them qualified with 2 customers. It's not going to take me very long if I'm using the purge call system of doing 2 calls a day and 1 accountability call at night, and I am regimented in how I do it. I'll find my 3 people really quick. And if I then plug them into the same call, then Richard's going to do my job for me. I'm going to be doing your job for you. If you plug your team, your new MCs, plug them into the purge call, I'm going to be doing your job of helping them prepare for the week. And they'll get plugged in, and because they're going to do it on a regular basis because you're there and you're encouraging them, they will have success in the business. They'll find their 3, and they'll plug their 3 into the purge call, and Richard's going to be helping them build their business too. So if you see where I'm going here is that by scoring your list, you bring all the great people to the top. Now, you are going to be bringing some chicken list people to the top as well. Maybe a business owner, maybe that lawyer, maybe that friend of your dad's you're kind of scared to talk to about business. But again, the great thing about the Sunday Purge call is I will teach you how to invite someone who you would regard as someone who may be of higher status than you, not a better person than you, but someone who you might be slightly intimidated by. The E.R.I.C.A scoring system will bring them to the top, and the Sunday Purge call will teach you how to invite them to take a look at the business. And so you may have people in your business who are better at it than you are, and that would be awesome. I know many of the yellow jackets are yellow jackets because people joined their business that were better than they were. And so the E.R.I.C.A scoring system is very, very strong. Don't just sit there and say, oh, well, I've kind of got a written list, I'll kind of score it. No. Again, if you're serious about your business, then get plugged into the Sunday Purge call, get your written list done, and get it scored. Let me tell you this, you can't answer me, but I'm going to ask you if you mind if I'm pretty much honest with you. I'm known for not sugarcoating. Here's the deal. If you don't have structure to your business, if you don't have something that you're doing on a regular basis that's written in your calendar, and you're starting your week with, I really should do something with my business, then you're playing at it. You're not treating this like a proper business. If you did that with a restaurant, you'd go out of business. If you did that with a new hairdressers, you'd go out of business. If you did that with a new nail salon, a new traditional business, whatever it is, you would go out of business, period. So get over it, guys. Please, Ambit is too kind to you. It's too easy to be lackadaisical with this business. If you're not going to get yourself some kind of structure, if you're not, and again, we're talking about 30 to 60 minutes a day. I know most of the people on this call will watch more than that on TV. And I'm not saying stop watching TV, but I'm saying if you start on Sunday and you allocate the time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, to your 2 invites and your 1 accountability call, go to your 1 business presentation, get on 1 team call, that is averaging around 30 to 60 minutes a day. That's what I'm talking about. If you're not going to do that, then I'm kind of going to say turn your website off, because you'll kind of slowly drift through your business and you'll never really get to any kind of level of success unless you're lucky and you accidentally find a Michelle, you accidentally find your Josh Workman, or you accidentally find your Javier, your Josh Daly, or your, whomsoever it is. If you're lucky enough to find that, then that's awesome. but you must have structure in your business because you can't rely on being lucky enough to find someone. So get your written list done, get the E.R.I.C.A scoring system done. Hopefully that explains that. I had a lot of questions, and I'm going to move on. I've had a lot of people asking me because the Sunday Purge call is basically about inviting people to your business to take a look. The presentation and this type of thing, that's nothing to do with the Sunday Purge call. A win for us is someone who gets the appointment to look. But I've had a few people ask me to say, well, look, I've got the appointment. Hold on, just going to take a slurp of tea again. What's the best way to now show the business? Well, the way you show your business is actually nothing to do with the Purge call. The Purge call is just getting people in front of it. Now, if you have a preference to how you like to present, like a one-on-one or a two-on-one, or you like to show the video, or you're an Energy Gold Rush guy, which I'm a fan of them as well, or you like home meetings or a business presentation, then that's obviously going to influence how you close the invitation. And hey, listen, I'm in a little bit of a hurry right now, but I've been meaning to talk to you about this. Remember I told you Max was going to be going to college soon. Well, I found a new business that's going to help me make sure I get those college funds paid for him. Now, I know you've got Susie going to college next year, and I know you're worried about the college funds as well. Well, I think this could work for you too. I'm not sure if it's going to be a cup of tea, be your cup of tea, but I've got a little business meeting going on at my house on Thursday night. I've got a few business folks coming around where I'm talking to everybody about how they can use a project that I'm working to get their college funds paid for. So that would be inviting someone to a home meeting. And that's a little bit different than sometimes I actually do on the Purge call. On the Purge call, usually I'm assuming someone's going to do a one-on-one or a two-on-one or maybe show them the video. But you can if you like home meetings, and I'm a big fan of home meetings as well, you can use that in the intentional close at the end of your invite. So again, you've been in a hurry, you've stated your why, you've stated their why, you're excited about this new thing. It may or may not be their cup of tea, but you've got a little kind of seminar happening at your house this Thursday night where we're showing people how they can have a plan B to get their kids' college fund paid for. So you can, whatever presentation you like, you can then involve in your invite. Some people like to take people to the business presence straight away. Personally, I like the one-on-ones. I like two-on-ones. I'm okay with videoing. With the video I like to do for people who are out of state and I can't necessarily get face-to-face with them. Or if someone's got a really busy schedule, I'll do the video. I don't do Energy Gold Rush, although I am looking at that right now. Their new videos are exceptionally good. But any of those ways of showing the business, one-on-ones, two-on-ones, the video, Energy Gold Rush, the home meeting, or the business presentation, can be put into the way you invite at the end of your invite, the intentionality of your invite. So I have no specific real preference on, I have personal preferences, but any one of those presentations can work for you. So from that perspective, for those of you who ask me the question, well, how should I show the business? Any one of those ways is great. If you're brand new, I'm a big fan of two-on-ones. Let's say, for example, I just brought Anna. Anna's on the call. I just brought Anna into the business, and she wants to show her friend Linda the business. Then it would make sense for me to go to the presentation with her to show her the business. But I would make sure that Anna told Linda that she's bringing her business partner, so no one feels ambushed. So if you've got someone who's new in your business, then do two-on-ones. Two-on-ones are really good. Then the upline, either in Anna and my case, I would do the presentation. Anna can sit and listen. She'll say nothing because, again, she has been well-trained and knows that you don't interrupt your upline because it de-edifies them. But she'll be able to listen and she'll be able to learn. So you get a double whammy there. You get someone presenting the business in a really good way, plus you've got someone there who can teach you how to do it as well. So nice way to do the business. So that's how to score your business. That's the presentations that you would use. And then a couple of other things that I wanted to talk about. Michelle had asked me to remind people that even though you're on the purge call and you're doing your 2 invites a day and your accountability call a day, that's not necessarily the only time that you can invite, especially for those of you who are really busy. You know, say, oh, I'm too busy to do my 2 calls and blah, 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 blah. Well, quite frankly, no, you're not. You think you are, but you're not. I know there's people who are a lot busier than most people on this call who still have a successful business. And let me qualify that. I'll give you an actual example of a specific type of invite you can do in addition to the purge call invites. Okay, so this is in addition. My wife was getting a new phone 2 days ago, and I'm in the AT&T store. I'm not thinking about doing my 2 invites today. I've already done them that morning, and I'm just out. I'm just out doing what I'm doing. And the AT&T guy comes up to me, super nice guy, very buoyant, very happy, real great attitude. And he's talking about phones and this, that, and the other. And I'm asking the questions. Oh, wow, how long have you been here? You're obviously, you're good at what you do, so you've been here a while. And he said, well, actually, I've been here, a year and a half. And I said, wow, you must really like it. I said, if you've been here that long, and he gives me that look, he rolls his eyes. I said, oh, really? I said, well, what are you going to do? And he said, well, actually, he said, I'm trying to do my own business. I'm writing ebooks, so it can help me, make some extra money. And there's the alarm bell right there and then. And so I didn't jump on him right away because we still hadn't finished the deal with the phone, because I knew that he would start asking me what it was. Yes, so I waited patiently until the end of the meeting. And just when I'm about to go, I said, hey, and mentioned his name. I said, listen, if you're looking for ways to make extra money, I've got something that's really going to work out for you. What's your email address? I want to send you some information. And he gave me his email address. And I said, and are you a 214 or an 817? And I'm looking down at the piece of paper, posturing, waiting for the number. He gave me his number. I said, I'm going to send you some information tonight. And I said, what are you doing Thursday night? Because I knew he was from Arlington. And he said, well, nothing. I said, I finished work at 6 o'clock. I said, well, I've also, there's a business seminar where you can take a look at something that might be able to help you out. I'm not sure if it's going to be your thing or not, but if you're looking for ways to get out of this place and make extra money, then you should come along and take a look. The guy, his eyes were lit up with excitement. And so what I did was I followed up with him that evening. I didn't show him the business because I wasn't going to get an opportunity to see him face to face. I'm actually going to give him a first showing at the business presentation. And so what I did was I called him that night and I said, look, I said I can talk to you about it over the phone, or I can show you videos, or you can come and see it live. What would you rather do? And he said, I'd love to come and see it live. I said, okay, come and see you Thursday night. So look at how much time that actually took me. I was in there. I was doing my daily thing anyway. I was buying an iPhone, and I was doing it anyway. I wasn't going to be anywhere else. I wasn't too busy doing something else. The guy showed me some pain, showed me some excitement, and I just did a real super quick invite. I still did the takeaway. The takeaway is super important because he still may turn me down. And if he turns me down, I'll obviously address any concerns, try and make him a customer, but I'll be able to let him go because I said it's not necessarily for everybody. And so I won't feel rejected. And he'll join or he won't. But my point about that is what's called a reactive invite. You're out there doing what you're doing. You're standing by the coffee machine. You're in Starbucks. You're washing the car. You're getting the tires changed on your car. Whatever it is, if you can get up into conversation and ask some questions about, well, you've been obviously you're good at your job. You must have been here a little while, and just get some questions, and you'll soon hear some pain if you ask the right types of questions. And then you can, and literally at the end of that encounter, make a real quick reactive invite. It works like a treat. It absolutely works like a treat. I have to confess that 80% of my business was built on reactive invites because I was not, in the early days, this is 6 years ago, I was not into the idea of a written list because no one had trained me right on how to do it. Now, the written list training now is awesome, of course, but back in the day, it wasn't. I didn't really want to do it. I was super busy. So I just promised myself that if I heard pain, I was going to invite someone. And so that's what I do. and literally most of my business, and I have thousands of people in my business right now, the ones that I brought on personally were pretty much mostly reactive. Someone mentioned some pain. I said, yeah, you know what? I might have something that will help you get out of here. I might have something that will help you get that car paid off. I might have something that will get you that motorcycle you're looking for. I might have something that will get you out of that debt. It may or may not be your cup of tea, but what's your email address? I'll send you some information. And are you a 214 or an 817? See how easy that is? That's 30 seconds work. Don't tell me you're too busy. I don't believe you. Okay? I'm on my soapbox, and I'm shouting I shouldn't. With a slurp of tea. Hold on. Still a great cup of tea. The other invite that I will use while I'm out and about, so we're doing our purge call invites. We're doing our reactive invites, which are just on the cusp of on the spur of the moment. The other one is a direct invite. And you've heard me kind of talk about these in the purge call, but it is a little bit different because these are off the cuff. You know, you're in a restaurant and there's a waitress there. You're buying a car. You are whatever it happens to be. And you've got great service. And I'll use the waitress as the example. Wait until the end of the dinner. She's great. She's bubbly. She's awesome. You think, wow, this girl would knock it out the park. But you think this is great, but you make sure you wait until the very, very end of the encounter. You don't want her to have the opportunity to say, so what is it you're doing? And if you've asked her at the beginning of the dinner, she's got plenty of time to ask you. Now, she's going to be busy, but, that's kind of slightly different. But let's say it's someone you're meeting down at the gym, and you see him there all the time. You're going to go down there. You're working out for an hour, all right? If he says, and you say, oh, hey, Steve, how you doing? Oh, just got fired. If you immediately come back and say, boy, have I got something for you, you've got that whole hour workout for him to come back to you asking, what is it? Don't do it. So you've gone into the gym, you've got the whole hour, you allow him to moan and complain, and then as you're leaving, as you're going into leaving the changing rooms, as you're getting into your car saying, and that's when you say, hey, Steve, sorry you lost your job, man, but I might have something for you. Listen, I don't know if it's going to be your cup of tea or not, but what's your email address? And are you a 214 or an 817 number? See how easy it is? Okay, now that's slightly different again than the waitress. So let's get back to the waitress situation. You're with your family. You've had your dinner. You're right at the end. You've allowed the family to leave, so it's not embarrassing in front of your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, your friends, or whatever. and obviously, your waitress. Let's say her name is Sharon. Sharon, thank you so much for taking care of us. You did such a great job tonight. You made me look really good, in front of my family. Thank you. You've obviously been doing this a little while, and she's going to feel great. And this is slightly different than the AT&T guy because she's not expressed pain. She wouldn't have a chance to do that. But so I'll be more direct. I'll say, hey, listen, Sharon, I don't know if this is the place or not, and I'll kind of look around. I'll say, but my company is expanding like crazy in the area, and we're looking for like sharp young people like you. Do you keep your options open for extra forms of income? So that's a direct invite. Okay, you've complimented her like you've been really good. Thank you so much for taking care of us. And then you're like, listen, I'm not sure if this is the place. Look around. Respect her time. Respect her place at the workplace. Listen, my company is growing like crazy in the DFW area, and we're looking for sharp young people like yourself. Sometimes you could be even more exclusive and say, look, we're looking for 2 people to add to our team right now. You could even be more specific, make her feel even more special, and say, do you keep your options open for making extra money? She can say yes or she can say no. I have never had anybody say no. Never. In 6 years in this business, I've never had someone say no. I say, listen, what's your email address? I've got some information I want to send you. And are you a 214 or an 817 number? See how simple it is? How long does that take? A minute? 2 minutes? You're not too busy. You're not too busy. Stop telling me I haven't got time. Yes, you do, because you're doing this while you're doing your other stuff. Stop telling me you're too busy. Now, listen, I'm getting upset now. Dear, excuse me a second. So being too busy, that's just an excuse. I don't believe you. This is really, really simple stuff. It's really gentle. It's really polite. It's not difficult to do. You're just making the invite. So the reactive invite is listening for pain. A direct invite is when you're impressed with someone, the bank teller, the waitress, the whatever. Nice, gentle, direct invite. They are in addition to your purge calls. So you've made a couple of invites a day, and you've got maybe a reactive invite here and a direct invite here. You will have your 3 people in your business you're building in no time at all. So if you haven't, we've got a little bit of time. If you've got any questions on what I'm telling you, text Michelle. Michelle's number is, hold on a second. Where are you, Michelle? I can't see you. Maybe you're not on the call.
I'm right here, Richard. Can you see me?
Oh, there you are, yeah. Oh, okay, I see your number now. Okay. Text Michelle, 682-521-4570. Again, 682-521-4570. If you've got any questions on what I've talked about, zap that through real quick, and I'll see if I can address it. I like to keep it nice and live, but I'm kind of getting to the end of what I'm talking about right now. But again, just to kind of summarize, please get on to the Sunday Purge calls, because it is the answer to having a successful business, period. It is the silver bullet. I know that sounds arrogant, but I'm sorry, but it is what it is. There's a lot of people who say, oh, no, it's not. It's the number of people, the number of people you know, or how in touch with your why you are, and this type of thing. But I know some people with a great why who've quit. I know some business owners who are really awesome with people who've quit. I know people who know a bunch of people who've quit, but I know no one who has truly had a regular 30 minutes to 60 minutes a day system that have quit, because you can't help but succeed. The silver bullet is this structure. So get on the Sunday Purge calls, get your team on the Sunday Purge calls. You know how to score now using the E.R.I.C.A system, okay? I'm going to go over that again on the training on October the 1st. Go to ambitlive.com, get yourself registered, get your team to that training. It will be an awesome training. Plug into that. I'll teach you again how to do the E.R.I.C.A system. You know what presentation. You can use any of the presentations. Just make sure you gear your close of the invite according to the presentation. And then you've got 2 other invites to be doing whilst you're doing your purge calls. Your 2 purge calls are cast in stone. You will make those 2 calls. Okay. You will make your 2 purge call invites anyway. The reactive are just because you're going about your day and you hear pain. The direct is because you're going about your day and you see someone that's really impressive. So that's kind of summarizing. I just got a question through here. Let me have a look at that. What's the best way to approach younger people as consultants? Well, I don't see age being any difference. This needs to be more of a 2-way, because younger people, as in 18 years old, younger people, to me, anybody under 35 is young. But I'm assuming you're talking about maybe college students and this type of thing. Well, it's actually no different than anybody else. But their why is going to be different. If you're inviting me, let's just say I'm not a business owner, but I am someone who's 52. What you're going to relate to with me is you're going to relate to maybe talking about retirement, maybe making sure the kids' college fund is paid for. That type of thing. If you're talking to a 20-year-old, you're talking about affording that new motorcycle or getting that new wakeboard or whatever. So, for example, if it's someone who's 20 who's into wakeboarding, I may say, hey, Steve, listen, I know you're a friend of my son's and you guys go wakeboarding together a lot. Listen, I've been meaning to give you a call because I know you've been trying to get that wakeboard paid for. Well, I've got a project that I'm working on right now that Sam, my son, is also working on as well. That's making a bunch of money right now. I'm not sure if it's going to be your cup of tea or not, but I'm telling you something, it'll get your wakeboard paid for. What are you doing on Friday? Come take a look at what we're doing. So really what's happening is that the why is changing. If you're doing a proactive call, like on a purge call, then your why is just different. Make sure you just relate to that younger person. Now, Sharon, my waitress, was also 21, but that was different. That was a direct approach. She was, young, bubbly, and she was impressive, and I wanted her to bring it because I was impressed with the way she was waited on us as a waitress. I was impressed with that, so it was a direct invite. But if you're talking about proactive calls, then it's the same. You're still in a hurry because let's say I'm approaching Sean, and Sean wants his wakeboard, and I'm not in a hurry. He may say to me, well, what is it? Now, I do have the posture of being 52 and he's 20, so I can get away with it. Listen, now's not the time, sunshine. And I've got that automatic posture, but that's not always the case. So always make sure you're in a hurry. Hey, Sean, listen, I'm about to go into a business meeting, but I was chatting to Sam the other day, and he was telling me how you were trying to get hold of that wakeboard. Or let's say they're a young couple and they're 22. Listen, I'm in a little bit of a hurry right now, but I've been meaning to go give you guys a call because I know you're trying to buy a house right now. Do you see what I mean? It's very much a situation where you're dealing specifically with young people. You're making sure you relate to their why. I've got another question come here. When you're not sure if the person would be a 0, 2, 1, 2, or 3 in any category, is there any such thing as putting a question mark in the E.R.I.C.A system? Okay, good question. Be careful not to get too scientific about E.R.I.C.A. E.R.I.C.A is merely a guide. If you're not sure, take a good guess. If you don't know them very well, like for example, I don't know. Yeah, you just met Joe Schmo at Starbucks. You were chatting to him. Really nice guy. He seemed pretty chatty. I'm not sure if he's entrepreneurial or not. I'll give him a 2 because he was just a nice guy. Resource it. He was in Starbucks, so I'm thinking he's probably got the money, and he was in there at 3 p.m. I'm thinking, yeah, he's probably got the time too, because he can get away from his job and this type of thing. Influence? I don't know, because I don't know him. He seems sociable, so I'm going to give him a 2 as well, because I'm taking a good guess. City, hopefully in the conversation, I may have found out where he was, but if I was chatting to him and obviously he was out of town a little bit, I'll give him a 1. But I guess this is the question you're asking is if you're not sure, take a good guess. No such thing as a question mark. No, absolutely not. They must get a score. Take a good guess. If you're chatting with them in Starbucks and they're really kind of shy and it's very difficult to kind of get to talk to them, but you still got an opportunity to invite, then maybe the influence may be a little lower, maybe a 2 or a 1. Because if he's quieter, maybe he's got a smaller circle of influence, or certainly may be resistant to chatting to them. So my point is, take a guess, because at the end of the day, I don't want it to be scientific. A question mark is going to turn out to be a 0 and put someone too far down the list than they belong. Take a good guess is my answer. No question marks, only good guesses. Hopefully that answers the question. Any more? I'm going to be finishing up now, so if there's any more questions, get them through to Michelle, and she'll take